Excellent is your name. Name is in the is power. Strong time, it's me. And God, and none can compare, say this. Nobody like you. And when I Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Effect Fluence. It's great to have you here today, and my name is Nanefia of Effect One. Remember, we are airing on Female Entrepreneurs Global, Facebook Live, or on YouTube on Raina Speaks. So you can join us in any of these two, and we can get a talking. Fluence is a business program that is brought to you by Female Entrepreneurs Global every Friday, 12 noon, for a very short time while you eat your lunch wherever you are in the world. The aim is to help businesses grow one step at a time, knowing the basic things, most of the things that we would normally just overlook and think that everybody should know. We want to bring it into the simplest form as much as possible so that everybody's able to understand and build global businesses, because that's what FEG is all about. FEG is a female business group, and our aim is to help everybody to come to the top and for all of us to be global businesses. It's because it's just for females. If you would love to watch it, you would have to watch, and you are male, you would have to watch it on YouTube at Raina Speaks, and we can all have input, ask questions, and grow our businesses together. My name is Nanefia. Welcome to Fluence, which is the new ish in business talks now. So we've been talking about business, and today we're going to be talking about management. When you hear management, I'm going to management. I'll tell management. Management has to do it. What exactly are we speaking about? Who exactly are we referring to? And this is what we want to talk about today. Remember that we talked about entrepreneurship, and we said things that an entrepreneur, we should see in an entrepreneur that tells us that this person is an entrepreneur. Please let me know if you can hear me by just punching the like, saying hi, saying something, so that I'm sure that you can hear me. Those on YouTube, please help me as well, so that I know whether you can hear me or not. So we talked about that. Now, after setting up a business, no matter how small or how big or how medium-sized that business is, you're going to need management to help to grow that business. And I know that most of the time when we hear management, it's it's like, hey, management for this my small tabletop business that I started. Hey, well, how am I going to pay them? Well, as we go along, you realize that management is needed. And that, yes, sometimes you need a lot of money to have management and sometimes you don't. So let's go right ahead. Now, business management is defined as coordinating and organizing business activities. Business management, the whole term business management, simply short, is coordinating and organizing business activities, So you are just trying to make sure everything works hand in hand. You are making sure that everything is always on point, properly planned, and that everything is in the right place. That is basically what business management is. Now, you ask that, so now that we know what business management is, who does that work? Who does the work of managing that business? Who is responsible for managing? Who is responsible for coordinating and organizing that business? Now, you see the management, we say, oh, we are going to management. Management is in charge of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the business resources so that they can meet the objectives of the policy. So management is practically in charge of everything of the business, and is to make sure that whatever the business stands for is accomplished. That is the main aim of management. When you hear management, coordinating, organizing, directing, and making sure that whatever the policy of the company is, it is coming to pass. Now, I took the definition of a manager and then the definition of a director because they are all under management. And then I want us to look at it. The definition of a manager is a person responsible for supervising. Now, I want you to take keywords into consideration. So a manager is responsible for supervising and motivating employees and for directing the progress of the organization. So the keywords are that the manager supervises, motivates, and directs the progress of the organization. That's a manager. Now, I also took the definition of a director. A director is someone elected or appointed to manage a company's business and affairs. This tells us that the director is somewhat above the manager, but they are all in management. I don't know if you're beginning to understand me. So the definition of a manager is responsible for supervising, for motivating employees, and for directing the progress of the organization. Somebody, you see the traffic wardens we see, they direct the cars, they direct the pedestrians, they direct the cyclists. But if we've noticed something, the traffic wardens are directing, showing us where to go, how to go, motivating us, telling us to move on, but they are not going there with us. However, for us to arrive at our final destinations, those traffic wardens are very important, that we don't get into an accident, that we don't go the wrong way, that we don't go against the traffic regulations, that we are following the traffic lights like we should. But they are not part of the final destination, but they make the final destination very, very possible. I don't know if you're beginning to understand what I'm saying. Now, the director, however, is somebody who is elected or appointed. So we can have a vote and say, who do we think can be a better director over us, and we can choose. Or the company can just come up and say, okay, so we've appointed this person as the director of the company, and that one is the one who manages the company's business and affairs. So that person is on site most of the time managing the affairs. So the manager and director must work hand in hand for whatever business it is to come to fruition and that the policies of that company come to pass. These two people cannot do without each other. The manager and the director cannot do without each other. In some companies, we have directors, board of directors. They take the major decisions, drop it down to the managers. The managers make sure it is dispersed. But in the case where you have just one director or one manager or both, they cannot work without each other for the betterment of the company. All right, now, what does management do? What is the work of managers and directors? What is the work of the managers and the directors? You know, what is their role? What are they supposed to do? So you listen, it says that the managers and directors, responsibility and power to look over an enterprise. Responsibility and power to look over an enterprise. So they are given the responsibility. You are in charge. Everything that happens, you are in charge. Good or bad, we are going to ask it from you. And then also the power, the authority. Yesterday on Radar Speaks, we talked about authority. So the authority to look over an enterprise, which means that they have the power to hire and fire, to make corrections, to make purchases, to do almost anything at all. Do anything at all to make sure that the company is running. Barbara, your sound keeps breaking. I hope it's better now. It's the network. So they have the responsibility, like I said. Everything rises and falls on them. We will ask them anything, good or bad, it comes back to them. And then they have the power to hire, fire, implement, remove, add, call meetings, all that. That's what managers and directors. That's why I said that managers and directors cannot work, individually. They must work hand in hand. They must always work hand in hand. One cannot say, no, I've drawn the line. These are my responsibilities and these are your responsibilities. Managers and directors must work hand in hand. All right. They also make decisions. So managers and directors make decisions that can make or mar the company. And so whatever decisions company managers and directors are making, they must make sure that they have weighed the pros, the cons, they have seen the ins and outs. They have been very objective and circumspect about their thoughts before making a final decision. Management size. The size of management, like I said in the beginning, can be from a single person in an organization to thousands of managers in companies that are in different nations. The video is buffering. Wow. Wow. Let me see. I hope it's better now. Please let me know if it's better. As for my network in Obuasi here now, seriously, I have no idea what is going on. The network in Obuasi at this point is a must give up on. Anywhere you are, there's a problem. I'll try my best, ladies. Thank you so much for the feedback. So I told you in the beginning that management can be anything. And you would say that, oh, this is my small tabletop business I'm doing. How can I have management? Please, let's also try on YouTube and see if it's the same thing, because it seems that YouTube is going fine. Please, let's check that place as well. Now, management can be one person in an organization to thousands of people for companies all over the world. So you can be your manager and your director for your company. Also, when your company gets bigger, you can employ more managers and directors to help you to run it. So don't worry about size. Your company can have managers and directors, and you can be the manager and director of your company with no problems at all. In bigger organizations, the policy is defined by the board of directors and then carried out by the CEO or chief executive officer. So in bigger organizations, like I told you, we have a board of directors. Those people sit and make decisions, discuss and do, they discuss very high intel stuff. And then the CEO, yes, you are saying, the CEO. Yes, the CEO is under the board of directors. Once you give them that power, you are beneath them. Whatever they decide, you have to come up with a way to implement it, as far as it is in line with the policy of the company. So directors, CEOs, managers, then we go towards the hierarchy. We build a hierarchy from there. Some people think the best way to evaluate a company's future and current wealth depends on the experience and quality of managers. Your experience and your quality as a manager. I'm sure you did not see me say anything like your education. In the future, education may not play too much of a role as compared to experience, because you may have the education, but you may not have the experience needed to handle the position you are being given. Theory is very different from practical. So that's why when you see a job advertisement, they say have 2 or 3 years experience, have 4 or 5 year experience, because most of those companies are not ready to train you from scratch. I always tell the young people who are just coming out of school and a company has employed you that stay there and stop looking for big companies, because the big companies, they don't have time for those things. They want somebody who already knows what they are doing. Your best bet is to stay with a small company 5-6 years, build your experience, build your tenacity before you move on to another place, or you will quickly be kicked out by the system. So one of a company's worth is determined by the experience and the quality of managers. When we say something is quality, it means it holds water. It can be used for a long time and not go bad. Consistency. You see, so these are the things that make managers good: quality and experience. When something comes up, they know the solution. They have a mind about the solution. They can quickly come to a point where they know how to get that thing out of, get the company out of that situation. And also they are consistent, they are qualified, and then they are quality managers on top of it. All right. Now, the main goal of management, and when we say management, like I said in the beginning, is the director and the manager. Even though they all have different roles to play, they must work together. And the main goal of these combined is to get people together. So whatever stuff you have or need, the director and the manager must make sure that those who are on board have the vision and the mission in play. They understand what the vision is. They understand what the mission is. They are updated. They are upgraded. They are trained. Then when need be, they need to come together to get more people, more hands to help the policies and the visions and the missions of the business to move forward. So the first main goal, you see, the first main goal is to get people together, because we need people to run an organization. We need people to run a company. You cannot do it on your own. It's impossible to be the accountant, the marketing manager, when you are starting your business initially and it's quite small, you are definitely going to do all that. But as it grows, that's why I said, as the need be, they employ people. So if you are your own manager and director now, as need be, you will employ people to come together, to come and help to build the vision and the mission of whatever company it is that you have started. Number 2 is to achieve the same desired objectives and goals. To achieve the same desired objectives and goals. Now, let me give you a very practical example as to a staff meeting we had just before school reopened at my school. We have some classes that are A and B. We have some classes that is just one class. We have some classes that maybe are 3 classes. So we have A and B. So let's say we have grade 1A and grade 1B. Now, what I told the teachers for these two classes, that you are teaching the same class, but you will not set the same questions during exams. As in, if somebody wrote, the name of this animal is Dododo, I'm not expecting the second person to also write the same question. The name of this animal is Dododo. Rather, I would expect maybe the other person will write, what animal is this? Now, even though the two questions are totally different, you realize that we are all looking for one answer. And only that one answer is correct, no matter how the question is put. And that's what this is, to achieve the same desired objectives and goals. So the goal of management, manager and director, is to achieve a set of desired objectives and goals. No matter the methods that are used, if those methods are still within the policy of the company, no matter the methods that are used, one desired objectives and goals must not shift. So if as a company, we are looking to gain 10 clients by the end of the month, no matter the marketing strategies the marketer decides to use, the accountant decides to use, no matter what it is, the objective for that month is to get 10 extra clients. As far as those methods are within company policy, it is allowed. I hope making sense. Then the last, for the main goal of management is, by using the resources that are available in an effective and efficient way. So management is supposed to use the resources available in an effective and efficient way. Now, the first thing I want to say with this is that if you are a manager and you are a director of a company and there are certain resources there, that is what we are expecting you to use. If you come back and say, well, this is not there, so we cannot achieve that, it means that you are not a very good manager or director, because people achieve more with less. If the company can afford it, they will definitely get it for you. Companies need to get things that make their companies run. If you go to your boss, your CEO, your board of directors, and sometimes they are stalling, it's not because they don't want to take your suggestion. It is mostly because sometimes they do not have the means to get what you are asking for. But as a good manager and director, you must be able to provide solution in the event that that is not possible. You said, oh, there are some things that definitely must be there before we work. I do not agree. We've seen teachers all over Ghana drawing computers on the board, and the children understand the computing such that when they get to the main computer, they touch and use it as if they've seen the real thing. That's innovation. And that's what we are talking about. As a manager, as a director, you cannot always have everything at your beck and call. So yours is to use whatever resources are available to you in an effective and efficient way, not to waste resources, not to wait until what you think you need comes to pass before you can do it. That's not what it is at all. So if you are a manager, if you are a director, are you able to use whatever resources you are provided with in an effective way that brings proper results, an efficient way that is consistent and makes the work easy for everybody? Are you able to do so? All right. Now, the management functions include the following. Management functions, they include the following: organizing, directing or leading, planning, staffing, controlling, and organization. We are going to take each of these one by one every week and talk about them so that we can break it down to the nitty-gritty for you to understand exactly what management means, so that your managing can become top-notch, whether you are just the one managing or you are getting a group of people to manage with you. So don't worry. Management functions include, now remember always that management includes the managers and the directors working hand in hand for whatever vision and mission and policy of the company that the company has to come to pass. So management functions include organizing, directing, planning, staffing, and controlling an organization. Now, some other things we could add to these things are manipulating and deployment of financial resources. All this means is how money works in a company. Income and expenditure. That's all that big BOFU means. Income and expenditure. Natural resources, whatever it is the company has around them. Human resource, the people that work in the company. Technological resources, technologies employed, laptops, phones, telephones, management systems, software, those things that make a company work better. You see, sometimes we are like, hey, but me, my small smoothie business, do I need computer? Yes. And you already have a computer. Your phone is your computer. And now your phone can do so many, it can do Excel, it can do Word, it can do accounting systems. There are so many ways that your phone is a computer that can help you to become one of the best companies without you having to buy a laptop for the start. So you actually have a computer in your hand, and you can be your manager and your director, and the company will do marvelously well. Management is necessary to facilitate a united effort towards achieving the company's goals. So let's say that the managers and the directors are the glue that hold together the company, the human resource, the material resource, the financial resource, the natural resource, the technological resource. The managers and the directors are the glue that hold these things together, make it work towards one aim, which is the company's goals or the company's vision and mission. So that's basically what management is. Simply put, just explained it in the simplest of ways for us to understand. We are going to be taking every function of management one by one every week, like I said, so that we can understand, we can decipher, we can understand, and we can use it to the benefit of our companies, if you know what I mean. Well, don't forget that you can always come back and put up your questions and contributions and any topics that you would like us to handle for Factfluence, just for your benefit. Thank you so much for joining us on your lunch break, wherever you are in this world. Let's not forget to say a prayer for Russia and for Ukraine and ask God to end this violence that has started. My name is Nanefia of FEG1 of Female Entrepreneurs Global. It's been a joy being with you, and I want to say a big thank you for taking time off to listen to Factfluence. Remember to invite your friends. Don't forget, we stream live on YouTube as well, 12 noon every Friday, right here on Female Entrepreneurs Global group page on Facebook and on YouTube at Rena Speaks. Thank you so much. See you same time, same place next week, and have a beautiful weekend. God bless you all. Bye.